The last of the 2021 freshwater trout and redfin box. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna save this interesting thing for probably last, but let's start off with the three soft plastics we have first up. First one from Magbite. It's the Magbite Chucky. So these are a tiny, tiny little paddle tail soft plastic option. Gonna be perfect for the little trout, absolutely dynamite. Look at the little profile on these. That little tail is gonna get a really tight, fast action on it. So rig these up ultra light. You want to do ultra light gear for this stuff. So I'm thinking unrigged or very, very low weighted jig heads for these. Gonna be absolutely perfect. Let it slow sink, burn it back. Gonna be dynamite for your little streams and your trout over Christmas time this month. Now another similar option, but instead with a curly tail, and one of my favorite style plastics is the Fish Arrow Flash J Curly in the 2-inch. So I've got the little orange ones here, and they do have a nice little foil finish in their belly. But I'm probably gonna rig these up a little bit heavier so I can work these a little bit quicker and get that tail going absolutely ballistic in the waters, attracting in all those fish. So the Magbite, I'm more inclined to fish with a lighter setup, and the curly tail with a heavier one. Can chop and change, just really depends on how you're gonna fish them. But for me, in the shallow streams, that's what I'd be aiming for here. Then a bigger profile from Atomic is the Atomic's Plazos here in the 2.5-inch paddle tail. So obviously a bigger profile on these ones here. Probably rig them up with a slightly bigger hook than you do with these ones, or you might miss a few fish. Slightly heavier head as well, but something like this I'm gonna probably use in deeper water or on a faster retrieve if you are still fishing those streams. So chuck on a heavier jig head, not too heavy, you know, maybe up to a maximum of 1/4 inch, unless you're fishing really deep water, is gonna be enough for these. But then shallow water, you wanna work it nice and quickly back. For your redfin, probably a lighter jig head. Again, maybe 1/4 ounce, and work it near some of your weed edges is gonna be dynamite. Then we've got a hard body from our friends at Rapala. So here we have the Rapala Countdown Elite. Now the Countdown lures from Rapala are absolutely phenomenal. This allows you to really accurately fish a certain depth of water that you want to fish with a hard body. So rather than hoping that your hard body is going to dive down to the depth that you need it to and then float back up and you have all this issue, the countdown lets you count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As it sinks down, you'll know how deep it is. So you can target fish at different depths of the water column, getting really twitchy. Straight burn retrieve back is fine as well, but such an awesome little idea for a hard body to slow sink, to let this sink down. So with this lead-free construction and reinforced body, it's going to be super strong to let sink down in front of these fish, and really good to fish in many different ways for both redfin and trout. Now last but not least, this was a bit of a weird one when I first saw it. But you got yourself this little jar here, this little jar of soft plastics called Damiki Bing. Now these cute little fellas are super unique, super tiny. It's probably hard to see from there. But these are dynamite for like your little drop shot rigs or lightly weighted rigs alongside your plastics. But that thing there, it's going to give off a super unique profile and swimming action with that tube style body. I'm going to fish that for your little trout. It's going to be absolutely dynamite. Rig this like fairly light, cast it out and just watch this thing slowly sink and fill heaps of fish. So you can also work this as a drop shot rig as well in your running streams, but I'd be more inclined to run this as like a single plastic or a double plastic setup. The drop shot rig, obviously, if you are going to fish this in a running stream, will take a lot of practice and a lot of finesse, but you can get there in the end, and they're an awesome little plastic for this sort of fishing, and really do mimic a little bait fish profile superbly. And that's it for the trout and redfin box this month. If you want to check it out or any others in the range, just head to www.tackleclub.com.au. Pick a box that's right for you. Have a merry, merry Christmas and welcome to the club.